Spurs tonight, and we get Victor in this edition of the Wembets. Just 2 more games. Tonight, we welcome in the Denver Nuggets, who are in a knife fight in the West right now. They're going to bring it tonight. They need it, as we'll pay attention to some seeding today. And also, no Keldon, and probably done for the season, right? You don't expect to see him again. I'm torn on this because I want to see the dude as much as I can. I'd like to see him, and I want to see him make a case tonight. Yet again, one final run at Defensive Player of the Year, because we're going to look back and go, how silly it was that he didn't get it after he's won 7 straight. And we're going to go back, what did he do that first year that he didn't do it? And the numbers will be the same. It'll just be a different year, and he's been there.
That's true. I mean, again, the best argument, not that it's a good one, the best argument for not giving Wemby Defensive Player of the Year right now is he's got to pay his dues. It's not his time yet. He's going to win so many anyway. It's not going to matter. There's a lot of good arguments to giving it to him. I would say the other, I wouldn't call it a good argument, but good argument nonetheless is his team sucks defensively. And that is difficult to ignore, at least in your brain. You know what I'm saying? Like it's difficult to say, do you mean the dude on the team whose defense is terrible? Do you think that guy
How good could he be?
Player? Yeah, that's a fair question to ask out loud, at least.
How many blocks a game he averaging?
Per game, he is, depends exactly like how you look at it, because things have obviously changed a little bit recently. But per game, he has, so last 5 games, he has 7, 7, 3, 9, and 3. Holy crap. Think about that. He has what? That's 10, 17, 20, 29 blocks in his last 5 games.
So we'll say 5 game, 5-0 game, 4.9.
Per game on the season, 3.6.
Okay, so he's averaging more at the end of the season than he was at the beginning.
Right.
But he's playing a slightly different position now than he was earlier in the year.
I mean,
he's guarding guards. He's guarding forwards where he's going to be. And once you started putting him out on the outside where he's able to swat some of those threes and send some of those mid-range, or at least affect them, the game changed.
So would you say that 6 or 7 blocks is the line of impressive?
Holy crap. If 6.
No.
I'll say 5 is
okay. Well, 5 is really difficult. There he has for the purposes of where I'm going, he has 22 games with 5 or more blocks.
That is just
so
that's the scoreboard. Just put that up on the front and say who on earth could not vote for that as Defensive Player.
I want to prove your point. So he has 12 games with 6 or more blocks. Okay. So of these 12 games, 1, 2, 4 of them came before February. So think about that. And 1 of them came in February. So that's 5. So of these 12 games, 7 of them have come as of late. That's my point. Like, yes, like to your point, he's heating up.
Well, some of it is, he's learning the game, first of all. Right. Now, I mean, he is now just a different dude, but a lot of it is also Pop figuring out where he's going to be from now on and starting to putting him in those places that great coaches do, where he's going to be successful. So suddenly it went up because now he's not defending post guys that are, when he gave up all those buckets to the Rockets and Sanguine and everybody just lived at his numbers on his chest. Everybody was right in there on him. Pop pulled him out of the paint. At that moment, after a couple of games, look at what happened. Defensively, enough of that, man. He's going to get killed, first of all. And to ask him to go through the rigors of every night, we're going to get in his chest. We're going to go at him and force him to foul and get him out of the game. And Pop pulled him out of the paint, put him out on the edge, and said, get him before they get in the paint. Be a help side dude. Interrupt the passing lanes. And suddenly the blocks exploded and games started to get a little bit easier. But the problem was Devin and Keldon were kind of in the way. So he got the defense got better. We got more blocks, but we lost a little bit of other stuff. And then we had to go in and out. He was hurt. They were in, they were out. And then finally, he's free flowing and able to do a lot of crap that he wouldn't be able to do if those other guys were in. Let's be real. He's having to make up for a bunch of G League talent out there. But it did show where he's good, where he's going to be. And that's not at the rim. It's 5 feet from the rim, from sideline to sideline. And it works.
I mean,
but that's my
strange.
RJ, before I put this little segment to bed, that's my argument to draft a big. That's the only reason I throw that out there. There's plenty of arguments to say he should be doing what he was, and I get that too.
It's strange how life works to where you kind of need sometimes something to get out of the way. You know what I mean? You really do have to take one step back to take two steps forward. And the Keldon Jeremy thing, the Devin thing, I mean, you can kind of put it all in one box. All kind of feels that way, right? Like, I mean, it supports the notion, I suppose, that you have to start over, that there had to be some sort of reset, that there had to be some sort of focus group or test period. You know what I mean?
Like, is what we got going to work? And we found out pretty quick, no.
I mean,
we got to be real about it.
No, I know, and that's why it's unfortunate because these are good players.
They are.
You know what I mean? And you wish that you could use them.
I think two of them have NBA career. The rest of them, it is going to depend on where they land. Lonnie is going to be lucky to stay in the league, and we thought, and we got a bunch of Lonnies. Good, but a lot of guys are good.
I mean, being good isn't good enough.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Good guys, and there's a lot of guys in the NBA that are 6'7" to 6'9" that can run, jump, and shoot. That's what everybody is. So, it's awful, but we got 2 games left. And Wemby is leading a bunch of regulars. Wemby and the regulars, Wemby and the Wembets, whatever you want to call. What do you think's going to happen tonight?
Tonight, I think I think the only way they win is if Denver takes their foot off the gas. That's it. That's the only way that they win. I don't know if you disagree with that.
But wholeheartedly, I agree with what you just said.
Right. Well, so I mean that affects what happens. So obviously Denver had a big game the other night, and they're good now.
So do me a favor, what's Denver's prognosis here? They got us and probably one more game. They're in a knife fight for first. It's really I think Pop's playing a little bit of checkers here. I think he wants to see if Denver's ready to take a little break. Like we're pretty secure. We're going to play somebody whether we win or lose, and there really is no need to risk anything. So maybe somebody suddenly comes up with a nostril flare-up or a hangnail tonight and can't play due to that. And so Pop will wait and see whether we might be able to snap a win from a team that's obviously going to try to get it with their backups and get rested. Or maybe we sit Wemby because there's sudden flare-up of that ankle and we get it in Detroit so they get that 21st win. Again, maybe I should put on a black hat.
So the Nuggets have the inside track for the 1 seed.
Right.
Because of their win against the
But do you want the 1 seed right now?
If you're them?
Well, you're going to be playing a pretty hot team who played through a play-in. I'm just saying.
And I know, but I think the answer to that question is the way they played Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
If they didn't want it,
there you go. Absolutely.
They really messed up.
So, yeah, the gas is fully pressed.
Right. So they seem to want it. I mean, because if they didn't, they wouldn't have really cared about that. So they have, let's see here. Obviously, the Spurs tonight, and their final game is, guess. What do you think it is?
I have no idea. I'm sure it's a pretty good one.
Guess a team.
Let's say a team in the. They're going to play the Pelicans. I don't know.
It's Memphis. So,
it's close.
So the final 2 games are Spurs and Grizzlies. So they should be good. And you're right that I don't see any team that they could play that I'm worried about them.
No, but you're looking at the play-in and you're dealing with teams like Golden State and the Lakers, and those guys, you never know. So I would rather play 6-7 than 8.
Well,
in that opening.
I mean, I don't know, man. Again, it ultimately comes down to having more confidence in the Nuggets and the Timberwolves for me. But anyway, so back to what's going to happen tonight. The Nuggets need this game, right? In a literal sense. I mean, they don't need this game, but they need this game. And so I think if you're the Spurs, maybe Wemby wants to sit one more game. You know what I mean? Like maybe you go for win 21 on Sunday against Detroit. You know what I mean? Like we all understand what's going to happen tonight. Nobody needs to Hey, Denver, good luck. Here's your 1 seed. Happy trails. Hopefully we meet you in the playoffs in a couple of years and it goes the right way. But for now, we'll step aside. Go ahead, just hang out tonight, and then we'll shake hands and go our separate ways. I don't see the need to expend a lot of energy tonight, personally.
We saw Denver last week? Was it last week? It was recently. And he had Wemby had some Sports Center moments and blocks against Denver. Denver just really, really good.
That's true.
Is there any chance in your mind that he could do something tonight against the MVP that could catapult, that could make a difference in getting player defensive? Okay. If that is the general consensus, then I'm of the mind of what the hell are we doing tonight? Let's get healed up one more time and be 100% against Detroit so we can separate there.
Yeah. You want win 21? You don't want to go in with a tie? It ain't happening tonight. It ain't happening in general against the Nuggets, but it ain't happening against a Nuggets team that wants this game. And so, your path of least resistance is to hands up, fold this one, and go get this easy win against the Pistons, who have the worst record in their own franchise.